Welcome back to Andersen Acres. It is Saturday today, and despite all the snow yesterday, it did warm up enough today to start to melt. Not a lot, obviously not a lot, but we're getting there. We're here for our weekly update where I talk about what we did each day, just in a little snippet, couple minute snippet, wrap up what we did, and then at the end, we answer a question. So, today being Saturday, we mostly cleaned up after the snow. You see, a bunch did melt, right? Like, snow did melt, but it's not melting quickly. So, we're still kind of digging out and dealing with the aftermath of that blizzard. Blizzard in late March, that's fun. Right at the end of March. We never can get out of winter without another good one of these. But it is melting a little bit, especially on, like, that's the higher spot. So the snow blew off of that and then the rest melted. So it is melting. It's just not quick. So what else do we do today? Nothing, because I feel crummy. Okay? I feel crummy. My brother is over. He's spending the night. So he's come to hang out for his birthday. He and my children, my two boys, my two teenagers, are going to play Monopoly and I'm going to bed. I literally feel terrible. Like, I feel horrible. I think I have the flu. Hopefully it's a 12 or 24 hour flu, but yeah, I definitely have the flu. Anyway, that's what's going on here on Saturday. Hopefully I feel better on Sunday and maybe a little more will have melted. Well, it's Sunday and more melted. Look at this. This path to the quail is completely melted now. So awesome. I mean, not this area. But this spot melted. Also, there's blue. So we did get more melting happening today, which is excellent. We need more melting. There's some more melting in front of the shed. There is a little more melting happening up here. Melting on this path that wasn't there last night. So we're getting there. We're supposed to have warmer weather, and by warmer weather I mean like 5 or 6 degrees above freezing. So not like warm weather, but warmer towards the end of the week. So hopefully we will get rid of most of this. But I mean, a lot of the snow melted off the deck, not all of it. Hopefully more of it will go tomorrow. We got some ground showing through here. We have up here, we've got some of the driveway has melted. So, you know, it's not horrific. Ooh, this is slippery though. That's the thing though, because as things are melting, then it freezes in the evening like this, and you could really wipe out. But yeah, we're doing really well. And here's DK and Jake hanging out on the driveway. But so this part of the driveway is clearer. This is clearer, but over there is not. So, you know, there's whiskey and vodka and there's Rowan. They're having fun. But yeah, we have a lot of this has melted. A lot of it hasn't. And frankly, we refuse to shovel these drifts. We're done. This should melt. We're hoping. Never mind. Don't look over there. Do not look over there. Look at how much snow is sitting there. We're not looking over there. Don't look over there either. Look over there. Look at how much snow is melted over there. Hi, guys. Hi, boys. Big giant boys. There's a vodka and there's a whiskey. Very good boys. Yeah, they're doing fine. Here are the dogs. Tequila's in the house because she's still in heat. She's coming out of it, so she's not really interested in vodka. But that doesn't mean he's not interested. Don't pee on my lights. Oh my God. Those are my sunflower lights. Do you have to pee on them? The answer is yes. Well, we'll see how much melting gets done on Monday, because Sunday's not bad. Like, this is better, right? Over there, look, that's better. Over here, we're doing better. So let's hope that Monday brings more melting. Well, it's Monday, and it's been an eventful day. Shadowfax escaped. Where did he escape, you might ask? Let's zoom in. You'll notice we've put a couple of barrels there. The wicked snow we got the other day collapsed that portion of the fence, and he escaped. He was running all over here. He was having a great old time. So right now, Tristan is just we were going to wait to build these panels, by the way, until the snow melted a little bit, because we've got way too much snow for them to be that effective. But because we need them at least a little bit now, he's building panels up here on the deck and putting wire on them, and we're just going to do our best with placing them, and then we will fiddle with them when the snow melts and position them properly. But he's just building 3 panels for that one stretch between those trees, just so that we can contain the pony a little bit, because he's an escaper. So those are the panels he's building. They're 8 feet long, 3 feet tall. We don't need anything higher than 3 feet for Shadowfax, and Arwen can't jump. So we're not worried about anyone getting out with only 3 feet. I know some people are like, well, you need 4 feet. We really don't. Not for these guys. For the rabbits, we need 4. We're actually going 6 on the rabbits, but for the horse, we don't. So it's getting windy again, and we might get snow on Wednesday. I don't know. I'm so done with this weather. But it is melting not bad. Like, look around the fire pit there. It is starting to come together. Like, it's melting. I mean, it's not where it was before the snow, but, you know, better than nothing, right? Anyway, that's what's going on here on Monday. Mostly it was a pony escaping, and we're fixing the fence. So things like that happen on a Harvey farm. So now I'm going inside to make dinner. And there's so many puddles here that just walking through, you get a footful of water. Hopefully it'll be warm enough that I won't get a footful of water every single day. But let's see if Tuesday warms up at all. Well, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday evening. It's gross. It's gross. It's stinky. It's, you know, spring on the farm. I know it doesn't look like spring. It does not look like spring. But, you know, it is technically spring. So what did we do today? We made cookies, and we made butter, 2 kinds of butter, and we made pasta for dinner. So we're having a good time. There's a rabbit in the pen. This rabbit lives in this pen, by the way. Trunk is in there. She's not locked in. She can go through the barn and back out, but she really likes it in there. She seems to think she is a duck. So I'm just living with it. There's Arwen. She's out all the time. She doesn't care. There's Shadowfax. So, you know, that's what's going on. Lots of stuff happening on Tuesday. Tomorrow my mom is coming over, so there might be a little less filming than normal because my mom's coming over for dinner. We're moving pizza night from Thursday to Wednesday, so that'll be fun. Turkey, ducks. But yeah, so that is what's going on the farm on Tuesday. Hopefully, it'll be nicer on Wednesday. Well, it's Wednesday. There's Tristan. There's Rowan. And it snowed again. It snowed again. I am really sick of April snow. It's stupid. And Tristan just got so many eggs, it's stupid. Look at that. Stupid amount of eggs. We don't talk about that. How many eggs is that? 4 ducks and a chicken? Yeah. Okay. Dang it, which Silky?
One of the small black ones.
In the barn?
Yeah.
Kick her off the top. Give her a kick in the bum. Well, tell her to stop. Okay, apparently we also have a broody Silky, which is not at all unusual. Broody Silkies are actually really, really common. So we have a broody Silky, tons of eggs, lots of duck eggs, which is fantastic because we like hatching ducks. Hopefully we'll have ducks hatching at the end of the week. Anyway, I'm sick of snow. So what happened today? Well, today my mom came over and that basically occupied my whole day. But it's Wednesday and not Thursday. So basically what we did is we switched pizza night from Thursday to Wednesday. Because my mom really loves pizza, but she couldn't come on Thursday. So that's what we did. We did that because that's what my mom wanted. There's Shadowfax going bonkers. And we might get a little more snow tonight. I hope not. I'm quitting snow. I quit snow. It's literally April 2nd. I quit snow. is stupid. Anyway, hopefully it does not snow tonight. And hopefully Thursday warms up a little bit because I'm really done with this stupid weather. Well, it's Thursday. It's one of those days where we did very little, accomplished nothing, and yet we're busy all day. So the temperature is dropping. It was pretty warm today, so some melted, but now the temperature is dropping and the melted stuff is turning to ice, so I'm really watching my step. But today we got a whack ton of eggs, lots of duck eggs. We moved Silverado. You probably can't see him in the dark. Maybe you can. There he is. We moved Silverado to his own pen because he's not really getting along with the boys. That's okay. He's just not. Sometimes he didn't grow up with them, so sometimes it becomes more difficult to get the rabbits to get along if they didn't grow up with each other, especially when they're boys. So he's not really getting along with them, so he has his own pen. That's okay. We'll find him a friend at some point. We'll make sure he has a buddy. But for now, he does not. He is close to the girls and he likes the girls, and he's not alone. He's just alone in that pen. So we did that. We made bread, we made risotto, and tried not to slip on this dang ice. Anyway, I also prepped for a live stream that I'm doing tomorrow, so I did quite a lot today, but I didn't actually accomplish anything. One of those annoying days. We did not have pizza tonight because we had pizza last night. We switched it up because my mom was here yesterday. So no pizza tonight. We did risotto instead. And we made bread so that we can have grilled cheese. And this is turning to ice real fast. The temperature's dropping real quick. And I know that sounds dumb because it's April and it should stop being this cold, but what can you do? It's supposed to warm up next week. We've been saying that for 2 weeks. It's supposed to warm up. Maybe it actually will. And then hopefully I can take these guys down. It's just so cold they're frozen into the ground and I don't want to break them. So hopefully we can take them down this weekend. The very latest next weekend. But I don't want to break them. Anyway, we'll see what's going on Friday. Well, it's Friday. And it's disgusting. Like, I'll go over here. And you can see there's puddles that are like 3 inches deep right here. Like, walking through that, you get a shoe full of water. Go down this way. Here comes Arwen trying to stay out of the water. Poor girl. Also, if you want to know where Trunk is, she's right there. She's not in a pen. She's willy-nilly meandering around. But yeah, it's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. Hi, sweetie. Is it pretty gross? It is gross. We're expecting to flood 2 weeks from now. It's so lovely. Anyway, the question I was asked this week is, don't you think it's hypocritical to embrace things like raising chickens for eggs, making your own bread, doing things the way your grandma did them, because I talk about my grandma a lot, but still have Wi-Fi and electricity? And no, I don't think it's hypocritical. I'm going over here where it's a little bit drier. I do not think it's hypocritical. So here's the thing. I can love making my own bread. I can love growing my own produce. I can love raising my chickens and collecting their eggs and looking after my goat and milking my animals when they're in milk and raising my rabbits and looking after my ducks and harvesting my crops and canning my jams and all that good stuff. Okay? I can love all of that and still want the conveniences and the things that make modern life good. Okay? And so can you. It is not hypocritical to think that you can have the best of all worlds. It is not hypocritical to think that I can look after my animals and keep my home as toxic free as possible and still use. Oh, Arwen, let's go this way, honey. You don't have to come where I am. Come on, sweetie. Come this way. Come. And so anyway, it's not hypocritical to think that you can have the best of everything. Okay? It is okay for you to grow your own crops and then sit down and watch Netflix at the end of the day. It's okay to go collect your eggs and then put up your feet and watch YouTube. It's okay to one night cook from scratch and love cooking from scratch. It's funny. And then the next day get takeout pizza. It's okay to do all of that. You do not have to do everything the hard way. And you do not have to abandon the conveniences of modern life for the things you like about modern life. You don't have to abandon all of that just because you want to start a hobby farm or you want to start homesteading. Okay? You don't have to do any of that. Okay? It is okay for you to decide, I have to fix this pipe. But it is, oops, sorry about that. That was bad. Lost control of the camera. But it is okay for you to do things the way you want to do them. I might have to get Dad to do this pipe. Whatever. I don't care that much. I'm gonna get someone else to do this pipe. I will get my dad or my brother or someone. I'm not doing it. There's Shadowfax. But my point is, it is not hypocritical at all to decide that you want to embrace a little bit of everything. Okay? It's a question I got quite a lot in the last few weeks. Like, if you were really into homesteading, you wouldn't have a YouTube channel. If you were really into homesteading, you wouldn't be connected to the power grid. Well, I never said I was completely off grid. I never did. And even though, yes, we have some solar up on the roof, we also have connected to our hydropower. Because in my province, it's almost all hydropower. Okay, so that's what that is. Hydro. We call it hydro. Here, we don't call it electric. We call it hydro. Because that's primarily what it is. But, what? What, Blue? Okay. Blue's making a lot of noise. But I don't find it hypocritical at all. You can embrace the things you love about the past without abandoning the progress we've made as a society. Okay? Because I think that's sometimes what people are actually asking. Right? Well, if you're really into homesteading, you would do the trad wife thing. I don't want to be a trad wife. I like my job. I like having a job. Okay? I don't want to be a trad wife. But I also still want to collect my own eggs. It's tequila barking. So, is it hypocritical? No. You can take the bits of the past and the present that you like and blend them together to create your own version of a life that works for you. Okay? Ooh, puddle. You do not have to give up anything in order to have what you want. Okay? You don't have to. And usually questions like this are not coming from a good place. They're telling you that, well, if you're going to raise chickens and bake bread, you should cut off your power and chop wood and use a wood stove. And if you want to do that, that's fine. That's not the life I want. I have no intention of living life the way my great-grandparents did. My great-grandparents are some of the original homesteaders in Alberta. They went out there with nothing. Here's some land. Good luck. They had nothing. Okay, they had no power. They had some chickens and some cows and some pigs, and they made a go of it, and they did very well. I don't want that life. I like having electricity. I like having access to YouTube. I like being able to go collect my chicken's eggs and then come inside and use my electric stove to bake my bread instead of having to do it over the wood. Okay, that's what I enjoy. I think that that's fantastic. So when you're building the life you want and you're starting your little hobby farm and you are figuring out what works for you, you don't have to give up anything. Not a single thing. You like your modern conveniences? Keep your modern conveniences. I do. So do most other people. You don't have to give it up. Just add new things as you like. Add the things you enjoy. Don't give up what you love. If you love watching Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus or whatever, then do that. We don't all have to live the same life, and none of us have to give up anything. We can keep what we want out of this life, okay? We can keep what we want. Hi, sweetie. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. But I can have Shadowfax. I can have Shadowfax and still have the modern things in life that I enjoy. Okay? It's not hypocritical. It doesn't make me a hypocrite. It doesn't make you a hypocrite. So, don't disconnect your power and live the way they did 100 years ago. It wasn't fun. It's romanticized. All you have to do is ask my grandma how she grew up. And she'll tell you a lot of good things, but she'll also tell you how hard it was. Okay? So, you don't have to give up anything. You can embrace the old and the new. It's okay. It really is. That's what we do. Anyway, that is about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.